A new report reveals that 80% of CEOs fear losing their jobs due to failed AI adoption, highlighting the urgent pressure on leadership to navigate the technological transformation effectively. Let's head to the Sunshine Coast. We're joined by Dr. Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast. Great to see you. Talk to us about the real reasons CEOs are worried here.
Well, it seems there's a lot of pressure from boards to get AI integration right and to actually start to see some return on investment on that. And so there's a lot of pressure from them to make it happen. And I mean, it's change management, and this sort of transformation does take time. So yeah, CEOs are very worried that they're going to lose their jobs if they can't show very soon how they are creating efficiencies, and there is some money coming back from the investment in tools and training for AI.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch because we've been talking about how big companies are now watching how their staff are using AI as a way to try and get them to do it in the hope that they'll be able to finally increase productivity at a lot of these companies. But now it's the bosses. And I've always thought that given the amount of change that AI can bring to an organization, I have wondered whether the kind of old school CEO mentality would work in that day and age. And I suppose what we're seeing here is boards cracking the whip and saying, don't be left behind, CEO.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, though, that very few organisations actually have an AI strategy, and very few are delivering really meaningful AI training. So a lot of it, if they are delivering training, it's either very sporadic and not keeping up with the developments, or it's not very customised to the tasks that people have to do. So doing sort of a general prompt writing workshop isn't going to help, really. I mean, my research is showing that getting really granular in terms of tasks and breaking it down to different work roles and tasks within those work roles is what is really needed to start to see that ROI. But it doesn't seem to be going that far in terms of what is being delivered by organisations.
Is it a sign that many CEOs now need to become the chief technical officer as well, to kind of have that mindset of how can we do things better? How can we be a step ahead of our competitors or try and survive? Because as they always say in business, if you stay where you are for too long, you die. So how does the average CEO tenure, I guess, change in recent years to reflect this?
Well, I think it's a matter of looking more broadly as to not only how can we do what we've always been doing better, but how can we completely do it in a different way and using technology. And often, I mean, senior management often doesn't have this level of knowledge around technology. And so it's important that they either train themselves up and learn from an expert, or just try and see what other organisations are doing who are doing it really well and really learn from that, and then try and apply that to their own organisation. But the thing is, not having really a strategy and breaking down tasks into steps and those sorts of things, those processes, getting really granular, as I said, it's going to really hamper them really seeing the gains. You have to break things down to see how AI can actually help in certain situations. AI is not going to do an entire workflow for you on its own. It'll do certain steps in there. Humans have to be involved. And it's really doing those audits and things to work out where AI will fit and where it doesn't. That's really important in terms of a strategic approach to AI integration.
How do boards influence CEOs in terms of AI-driven outcomes? And we often think that the reason why boards will be putting pressure on CEOs is to save money. Everyone seems to be trying to save money by implementing AI and saving headcount as well. But boards also have another responsibility, of course, which is for human resources and to make sure they don't end up with a massive class action. So there is a kind of gently approach here that CEOs need to navigate, right?
Oh, absolutely. And that's right. And I mean, and if there are shareholders involved as well, like there are so many players in this AI integration dance that they need to be aware of and need to consider. And yeah, that's 100% right. I think trying to come up with a solution that benefits everyone is going to be really hard, and particularly when the technology is constantly changing. And then there's other organisations that we've discussed before completely like slashing the workforce and then saying it's because of AI. I mean, it's hard to know what to do and what is right in terms of how to integrate. But I think they really need to sit down and think about the future of how they can best equip their staff to use it in a safe and ethical way, but to be maybe more productive with the time that they have rather than sort of slashing their workforce.
There's this element of time is running out that we're kind of seeing as well. I mean, if you have a look at the charts over the past year for the markets and investment in stock companies, and the fact that there's another $500 billion being thrown at development in AI means that if you are a tech company or working closely with a tech company perceived to be one, your stock value goes up. That's who the board of directors is obviously trying to keep happy. And the hapless CEO is there at the front line trying to make it work as well. What trends are you observing in terms of the timelines for companies trying to bring in AI?
Well, I mean, they're all over the place, really. The norm I'm seeing is that the general AI integration is that they'll allow staff to, or some staff to have, say, Microsoft Copilot, and then they'll tick it off the list and go, okay, now we're doing AI. They haven't shown staff how to use it well. They haven't given the time to be able to experiment to see how they can actually improve their efficiency. One of the big paradoxes I'm seeing in organizations is that their staff are so overloaded with tasks and trying to meet all these deadlines that they don't have the time to sit down and integrate AI to help them save time. So it's like this catch-22. And so a lot of that is not seeing ROI on the use of AI. It looks good on paper, but the reality is very different.
All right, now as the Meta trial enters its second day in New Mexico, the state argues that the tech giant poses a public safety threat, a claim that Meta strongly refutes. Obviously, we've been watching a lot of these court cases play out. They don't seem to end in the tech giant's favour.
No. And so here's another one, and it's quite substantial as well. So Meta's already been ordered to pay $375 million in civil penalties. And so this is another case where they've been taken into account. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, and that what this actually means for not only Meta, but other social media platforms as well. I mean, they're really coming under scrutiny now, particularly around how they influence children in negative ways, but then also how the platforms are built to make that happen and to have that negative impact. So it'll be very interesting to see how these law cases eventuate, to see if actual platform design features will have to be changed to make sure that they're not having this negative impact.
And talk to us about the harms to health or public safety that are being alleged in this case, because we are seeing quite a few of these cases right around the world. We're seeing governments bringing in bans for kids to be using social media as well, very much based on the outcomes of these sorts of things too. What's Meta actually saying here to these allegations?
I mean, they're denying it. And I mean, all of the platforms have put in sort of measures to try and say that, this isn't happening. It's very addictive. They can't put the phone down. And it is a true addiction. It's been medically proven. Cyberbullying is an issue. Things like body image and younger people being really heavily influenced by what they're seeing on there and comparing themselves. So there's a whole range of issues that younger people are experiencing, but adults experience it as well. Like the addiction issue, I think, is across the board.
Yeah, interesting one indeed. All right, Dr. Karen Sutherland, always love your work. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks so